what happens when the fourth turning meets fifth generation warfare.
A commentator, international social media sensation, and former Navy intelligence veteran.
This is Human Events with your host, Jack Posobiec.
Christ is king.
Ukrainian officials say at least 18 people were killed and dozens were wounded overnight in what has been described as a massive attack on the capital.
Hundreds of criminal prosecutions since President Trump declared a crime emergency more than 2 weeks ago has put a tremendous strain on D.C.'s court system.
And arraignments are going late into the night, and defense attorneys are doubling, some of them even tripling up on their cases.
There are currently 13 judicial vacancies, 15 if you count the 2 judges that are out on extended leave. There were so many cases to handle here yesterday that a magistrate judge was hearing them until after 1 o'clock this morning.
President Trump's steep 50% tariff on Indian goods is now in effect. India relies heavily on U.S. trade. The country's government estimates the tariffs will impact more than $48 billion worth of exports.
At least 3 Americans are accused of spying on Greenland. A public broadcaster in Denmark reports the men are believed to have been conducting influence operations on the self-governing island. The reporting claims one of the men compiled a list of Trump administration supporters.
The Democratic National Committee is still covering Kamala Harris's presidential campaign debt. In the first 6 months of 2025, the DNC paid more than $20 million in outstanding bills. Harris is also back on the fundraising trail, trying to refill the party coffers for the next election cycle.
A difficult night followed by an unimaginable day earlier today. I am here outside of Annunciation School in Minneapolis, where police tape you can still see surrounds this active crime scene. Signs of what occurred here still very evident tonight. Those in this community looking to do anything to help, so they gathered together tonight to pray. Hundreds of mourners filled up this suburban high school gym Wednesday night for a Catholic vigil.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard today's edition of Human Events Daily here live. We're back Washington, D.C. Today is August 28th, 2025, Anno Domini. Well, the country is still reeling from the horrific attack at Annunciation Catholic Church yesterday, a demonic act where an individual, a severely possessed, evil, and influenced, impressionable man who believed that he actually was supposed to be a woman, went and killed 2 young children who are now martyrs in a Catholic church while attending Mass with their school. This has now been confirmed since yesterday. We were able to confirm that the shooter had in fact been previously a student of the school. This was something that we were assessing was likely due to the familiarity with the school's layout, the school's pattern of life, the school's rhythms and repetitions. It just made sense that that level of familiarity would be with someone who had gone to that school. And in addition, his mother had also previously been a secretary there for some years. Some of the other information that's coming out and that people are looking at now is the fact that the stickers that the shooter had all over his manifesto were of the character Luigi. And of course, Luigi is a direct reference to Luigi Mangione. And this is something that we've been warning about for months at this point, that there will be copycat after copycat of Luigi over and over. And particularly, we warned that you would see this with Gen Z males, as well as Gen Z males who had fallen into this mental psychosis of transgenderism. And some of the other images and drawings that you see in this manifesto are clear depictions of demonic possession. And one in particular is this shooter staring into a mirror and seeing a demon reflected back. And in this image, of course, you see a depiction of what appears to be instruction or communication from the demon to the person who conducted this act. This is how demonic possession works. The demon can only influence the individual. The demon cannot control the individual. They have to be invited in. Typically, this begins with acts of sexual degeneracy or gender confusion, like you saw in this, like we see directly in this case. And in addition, then, the fact that it's done through a mirror, of course, mirrors are, what are they? They are portals, reflections of false realities, and so also offer the opportunity for this type of demonic influence. And one of the other pieces, I put this tweet up, and it's gone quite viral at this point, where I said, prayer causes pain to demons. Which is true. So do the ringing of consecrated church bells. And so where two or more are gathered in prayer, that causes extreme pain to demons. So what type of person would call for an end to prayer? Well, perhaps someone who is receiving influence from a demon, a human familiar of a demon. Why? Because it causes pain to their masters. Understand, this is a spiritual war. It has always been a spiritual war. I've always said it is a spiritual war. We have always known it is a spiritual war. This is an image of the two crosses that are now up outside of Annunciation Catholic Church for the two martyrs who died for hatred of the faith. The seed of the church is the blood of martyrs. Be right back. Jack Posobiec, Human Events Daily, during Real America's Voice.